Our fourth reader today is Lydia M. Hawke. Lydia M. Hawke is a Canadian writer of paranormal women's fiction who is on a mission to reclaim the term crone and make it positive again. A wife, mother, and grandmother herself, Lydia's newest series features a woman who discovers her magic and her power at the age of 60. I can't wait to hear this. Lydia, take it away.
Good afternoon, and thank you all so much for inviting me and for showing up for this. This is so much fun, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you. I am going to be reading to you from Becoming Crone. It is the first in my Crone Wars series. Note the little play on words there, Crone Wars, Clone Wars. I love that one. We're going to be jumping in partway through chapter 6. So to give you a bit of context, our intrepid heroine has just discovered a mysterious gate in the forest with a stone gargoyle sitting on top of one of the gate posts and instructions to knock written on a plaque beneath. Here's what happens next. Feeling intensely foolish, I raised my free hand, curled my fingers into my palm, and rapped on the plaque. Once, twice, a third time. The words and melody of the old song looping through my brain as I did so. Knock 3 times. Nothing happened. I waited a full minute, counting off the seconds under my breath and flexing tender knuckles. The gate stayed closed. Nothing moved in the shadows on either side of it. The woods stayed silent but for the buzz of cicadas and chirping of crickets behind me. I tightened my lips and raised my fist again. 1, 2, 3 raps. Another minute. Another 3 raps, hard enough to make my bruised knuckles protest and the breath hiss from me. A third minute of waiting. My sense of foolishness increased. Was I, a grown woman old enough to know better, really standing in the semi-gloom of the forest, knocking on a stone pillar? And worse, expecting someone to answer? A breeze whispered through the trees and under my shirt, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and pine trees. I shivered in its chill. I seriously needed to get moving if I wanted any daylight left for my walk home. I slipped the pendant chain back over my head. One last time, my inner Edie voice insisted, and then you can go. My inner Edie voice was as much of a pain as the real thing, but I lifted my hand and knocked again. Once, twice. Goddess above, woman, rasped a voice like gravel scattering across stone. I heard you the first time. It's not like I can hop down in just a few seconds after being stuck up here for decades. A little patience, please. I yelped, fell backward over a tree root, and landed on my rear end amid dead pine needles and twigs. My head snapped back, and my gaze zeroed in on the huge stone gargoyle, slowly uncurling itself to stand upright on the gatepost, at least double in height than the mere 3 feet I'd thought it. My brain froze, refusing to accept what my eyes said they saw. I blinked, squeezed said eyes closed, blinked again. The gargoyle jumped down from the gatepost, landing with a whomp that shook the ground beneath me. Stone feet sank up to their ankles into the soft earth. A massive head tilted first to one side, then the other, as the gargoyle stretched its neck. It heaved a deep sigh. Better, it said. Then it stared down at me with blank stone eyes devoid of pupils. Well? I said. The gargoyle raised what wasn't quite an eyebrow. Its stony, no pun intended, gaze raked my sprawled form from head to toe. It heaved a sigh. Well, it said again, are you going to lie there all night, or are you going to unlock the gate? I looked past the hulking form to the gate. I don't have the key, I wanted to say, but no way was I going to start conversing with what I now had no doubt was a hallucination. I was going to pick myself up from the ground, get back to the road, and get my butt back home as fast as I could manage. And first thing in the morning, I would call my doctor and I squeaked and scuttled backward on my butt as the gargoyle reached for me, certain I was about to be crushed. But with surprising dexterity, stone claws lifted the chain from around my neck, and then the gargoyle turned to the gate and fitted the pendant into an indentation on a flat panel I hadn't noticed, a pendant-shaped indentation. The latch disengaged with a rusty protest, and the gate swung inward on hinges that squealed from disuse. The gargoyle looked back over its shoulder. "You're still on the ground." I scrambled to my feet and shot a look toward the road, which had almost disappeared in the encroaching dark. How late was it anyway? And just how long had I spent poking about, staring at a gargoyle and knocking on a plaque inscribed with a non-existent address? Merlin would be starving, and Edie was supposed to come by for tea on the porch after dinner, and I looked back at the waiting gargoyle and the open gate. A faint glow with no discernible source illuminated the path on the other side. I swallowed. "Kevin," said the gargoyle. "I beg your pardon?" I responded out of sheer surprise. "My name," said the gargoyle. "It's Kevin." "Ah." Stone hands, paws settled onto stone hips. Haunches? Nice to meet you, Kevin," it coached. "My name is..." I wondered what it meant when a hallucination started coaching you on manners. I sidled toward the thicket that stood between me and a pell-mell run to safety. I mumbled, "It's Claire. My name is Claire." "Lady Claire," it said, sounding very much like it was correcting me. I blinked again. What? "You are Lady Claire now." It handed the pendant back to me, and I accepted it automatically. "You are crone. You are Lady Claire." I shook my head and shifted another step away. "You're mistaken. I'm not who you think I am." Belatedly, I bristled at the unveiled insult. "And I'm not a crone." "Not a crone, just crone. And that's different how?" Kevin frowned and countered, "How is it not different to serve the Morrigan?" "Serve..." I backed into a thistle and bounced forward again with a yip. I wouldn't wait until tomorrow for medical attention, I decided. I'd call Paul when I got home, and he could take me to the hospital. I was pretty sure they had a psychiatrist on call in the emergency ward. Or maybe I could ask Jeanne to take me. Having a nurse along might expedite things, get me seen faster, and the gargoyle turned and stomped through the open gate. Despite myself, perhaps because on some level having an imaginary sentient gargoyle keeping me company in the shadowy gloom seemed preferable to finding myself alone, I called out, "Wait, where are you going?" Its gravelly answer floated back through the night. "The house," it said. "Follow or not, as you please. But I'm tired of standing around talking. I'm hungry." Hungry. The living stone gargoyle was hungry, because of course it was. And I was a crone, I was just crone, serving something called the Morrigan, and what did gargoyles eat, anyway? I stared after the stone figure that had continued down the path and disappeared around a corner into the trees. The gate remained open. Dark crept closer, until it felt like the shadows themselves breathed down my neck. I swallowed. Dear God, when I decided to lose my mind, I didn't hold back, did I? A twig snapped behind me and I jumped, clamping a hand over my mouth against the squawk that wanted to emerge. I needed to go home, now. But while I'd stood there waffling, the moonless night had swallowed the road and woods in their entirety, and something rustled in the leaves to the left. And I will leave you there.